Hello student, welcome to the course Analog and Digital Electronics. In this last unit number 6, Diode Rectifier. Here I am Mr. C.R. Sindhe from Electrical Engineering Department of Matasri College of Engineering and Research Center, Nasik. In this second module of this unit 6, we studied about the single phase full wave rectifier with a resistive load and their performance parameters. So these are the classification of this single phase full wave rectifier as a center tap rectifier and a bridge rectifier. So these two type of full wave rectifier we studied during this module. As we have to already studied in the first module, single phase half wave rectifier. So only the difference in between half wave and full wave rectifier is that half wave rectifier rectified the half wave signal of the input and full wave rectifier rectified the full wave signal of the input. So this is the first circuit, center tap rectifier. It requires a center tapping secondary of transformer and requires a 2 p-n junction diode, where the first diode for upper terminals to with respect to center it can be connected, whereas the second diode D2 is connected lower terminal with respect to center, and at exactly center tapping we are connecting load resistance. So construction is simple while you are going to be perform the practicals. So this connection is also simplified. During the positive up cycles, let consider the upper terminals of the transformer secondaries becomes to be a positive with respect to the lower terminals negative, and for that polarity our diode D2 is behave as a reverse bias, or our diode D2 is behave as an open circuit, and hence for this polarity the current it start flowing through the diode D1 and load resistance from positive to negative and to the center of the secondary of transformer. While in case of negative up cycle, so terminal polarities get reversed. So upper terminal becomes to be a negative with respect to the lower terminal as a positive, and that's why the diode D1 is behave as a reverse bias, act as an open circuit, and hence the current is flowing through from positive to G2 and load resistance from positive to negative and up to the center of this center tap secondary of transformer. So it is keep noted that while during positive up cycle the current is flowing through the load resistance from positive to negative, while during negative up cycles the current is again flowing from positive to negative, means the direction of current flowing through the load is same during positive up cycle of input as well as during negative up cycle. So it is clearly seen that during 0 to pi and during pi to 2 pi we are getting the same unidirectional output current or voltage. So that's why this is the output voltage waveforms, and it is getting during 0 to pi, during pi to 2 pi, and so on. These are the negative reverse bias voltage which is applied across the reverse bias diode. Those diode becomes to be a reverse bias. So this is the voltage applied, and it is shown clearly it's a minus 2 times of maximum voltage is applied on D2 during 0 to pi, and minus 2 Vm that much amount of negative voltage is applied during pi to 2 pi across the D1. Okay. So in this way the input alternating signal is converted into a unidirectional pulsating DC, and the full input wave, upper positive, upper negative, both wave is rectified using this center tap full wave rectifier. Now the second circuit of the full wave is the bridge rectifier, and in this case the 4 number of diode is used, and using this 4 diode we are arrange this bridge. So this bridge having a 4 node, this upper node we call it as the connected to the cathode of the D4 and anode of the D2 D1. So one of the cathode terminals of the diode and another anode terminals of the diode is connected here, so we call this node as the anode cathode. Similarly for this node we call it as the anode cathode because D2 cathode terminal is connected to this node, and for D3 anode terminal is connected to this node. Whereas in this case of node, if we talking, so we are getting anode of the D4 and anode of the D2 is connected here. Similarly for this node, cathode of the D1 and cathode of the D3 is connected. So this is the anode anode cathode cathode, and across this anode anode cathode cathode we are connecting load, means this is the load terminal. Anode cathode, this is the source terminal. So once the bridge is formed, you are getting a 4 node. Out of this 2 node is the source node, and remaining 2 nodes is the load terminals. So across the load terminals you connect the load, across the source terminal you connect the source, and this is the only a simple connections for this full wave bridge rectifier. Now let's see, during the positive half cycles, upper terminals assumed to be a positive with respect to lower terminals as a negative, and hence this node it becomes to be a positive. For this node positive polarity, so anode of this diode D1 is connected, so the diode D1 is forward bias. Whereas in lower terminals negative for this negative polarity, so diode D2 is forward bias. Okay, so for the 0 to pi, diode D1 and D2 is forward bias, whereas diode D3 and D4 is reverse bias. Hence the current is start flowing from upper terminals from D1 load resistance top to bottom or positive to negative, and D2 and back to the lower terminals of the secondary of transformer. During the negative half cycles, upper terminals becomes to be a negative with respect to lower terminals as a positive, and for that polarity our diode D4 and D3 is conducting, or we call it as the forward bias. So for this forward bias, the load current is flowing through from the lower terminals D3 from positive to negative top to bottoms, and D4 and back to the negative, that is the upper terminals. So in this way, during positive half cycles, D1 and D2 is conducting, while D3 and D4 is the reverse bias, not conducting. In case of negative half cycles, D3 and D4 is conducting, and D1 and D2 is reverse bias. But the load current is flowing through the load resistance is a same directional, and we call it as the unidirectional current is flowing through the load. So in this way, alternating nature of the secondary winding of this secondary whatever the alternating nature signal is available at the secondary of transformer is converted after this bridge into a unidirectional current or voltage. So it can be seen from this waveform. This is the upper positive 0 to pi. We are getting the Vm same amount, while D1, that is diode D1 and D2 is conducting. During pi to 2 pi, same magnitude of maximum voltage we are getting, but the D3 and D4 diode is conducting, while the D1 and D2 is reverse bias. Okay, and this process is continuing for further cycles. Now this is the reverse bias voltage is applied across the diode D3 and D4 during the first positive upcycle or 0 to pi. Because that D3 and D4 is reverse, so this negative voltage is applied across that two diodes. Same things pi to 2 pi, this minus Vm negative reverse bias voltage is applied across D1 and D2 diode, because during this pi to 2 pi diode D1 and D2 is off conditions, it is reverse bias condition, so this reverse bias voltage is applied across that D1 and D2 diode. So this is the reverse voltage, or we call it as the peak inverse voltage also. Now let's move to the performance parameters of this bridge rectifier. Average DC voltage and average DC current, that is the IDC and VDC. So let's calculate the VDC. So 1 upon pi. So 0 to pi, and these cycles can be continuously we are getting. So that's why instead of 1 upon 2 pi, we are taking here 1 upon pi. So integrations is also taking from 0 to pi. We are getting the output from 0 to pi, and that 0 to pi sequence is continuously carry out. With respect to omega t, we are taking the integration of V. So V voltage, sinusoidal voltage is applied. So that's why it's a Vm sin omega t. So we are taking the integration of Vm sin omega t, but the Vm is constant. So we are taking outside the integration, this Vm by pi we are getting. And integration of sin omega t is the minus cos omega t. Upper limit is pi, lower limit is 0. While we are solving this upper limit minus lower limit, we are getting the 2 Vm by pi. So average DC voltage is 2 Vm by pi. Similarly, if we solve for current, we are getting 2 Im by pi. That is the maximum current by pi. 2 maximum voltage by pi. RMS current and voltage, IRMS and VRMS. We are taking the root mean square value for this voltage for 1 pi integration 0 to pi v square with respect to d omega t under root. If we solving Vm sin omega t, so Vm square is a constant and sin square omega t we are written here 1 minus cos 2 omega t. And if we taking the integration of this 1 minus cos 2 omega t, we are getting as the pi. So if we further solve this Vm square 2 pi minus pi, so we are getting finalized value for the VRMS is the Vm by root. Okay. Similarly, if we solve for the IRMS, we are getting the IRMS value is nothing but maximum value divided by Im by root. Now the next one factor is the form factors, and it is the ratio of RMS value to average value. We are already calculated. So if we taking the VRMS by VDC, 1.11 form factors is determined for the bridge rectifier. Now the ripple factor is nothing but what amount of or what percent of unwanted input component is present in the output, that is nothing but the ripple factor, and ripple factor is calculated by form factor square minus 1 in under root. So form factor is 1.11 square minus 1 in case of under root, so we are getting 0.482 as a ripple factor for the bridge rectifier. And if we calculate this ripple factor in percentage, so it is a 48.2% ripple factor. Now the efficiency of full wave bridge rectifier, DC power divided by AC power. So if we calculating, so load resistance is cancelled out, and if we calculate this efficiency 8 divided by pi square, so we are getting 81.1% efficiency for this full wave bridge rectifier. Now the peak inverse voltage for the bridge rectifier is a minus Vm is applied, and peak inverse voltage is nothing but maximum reverse bias voltage that can be applied across diode whenever diode it So thank you for watching this video. If you have any doubts, so you may ask me on my personal gmail.com or my official gmail.com or my personal WhatsApp number. Thank you very much.